I just can't believe this guy.
Yeah. So
the paper thin ego
for real
is like embarrassing.
He takes maximum offense to this.
Yeah.
Or is just a bad comedian. Like it's one of the two,
I think
right?
it's both. I think it's both.
So I don't have like a beef with anybody. If I was gonna fight somebody, it might be like, I don't know, it might be like Will Smith or something. He seemed to have a good right hook.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome to Memory Ash.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Mitch.
We're here to talk about a young man with a large ego.
Oh, I don't even know who this guy is, except you're always like, we're laying in bed and you're like, there's this guy, Matt Rife. You know Matt Rife, right? And then you're like he did this thing. And then I heard this and I was just kind of like, not flabbergasted because it sounds like it's on brand for him.
Yeah.
But kind of embarrassing, honestly.
I have been seeing this douchebag everywhere for a while now. And something...
You've always hated him,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Something rubbed me wrong about him like a while back. And I think just me and this guy would not get along in real life, so then I don't want to watch him on the internet. Do you know what I mean? And I know some people in my like actual life that have attended his comedy shows, and...
If you want to call them that.
It's just not my scene. Do you know what I mean?
Not our scene.
It's not my cup of tea. It never has been. But I never thought that he would incinerate his career to this extent. Like, I really didn't.
I don't know.
And I kept thinking he would stop, right? I kept thinking that, like, he has to have a publicist, right? So I kept thinking at some point he would hit a point where he would realize that this is not wise of him.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
That he's trying to do the Dave Chappelle, I'm gonna be really offensive and burn my life down, but then also like get all the super like, I don't know, like anti-trans like kind of like people in his pocket or something, or the misogynists. Like he's very clearly saying he wants that.
Did you know?
Yeah.
That he, on his like non-apology tour after his Netflix special, he went on Matt Rife,
okay.
He went on Jordan Peterson.
Of course he did. He's trying to rebrand because he thinks that
to what, like right-wing asshole?
A lot of people do it. Let's get into like what this is about though, because I don't really know very much about Matt Rife, but you told me this story here.
Okay, so you want to talk about you want to know who Matt Rife is?
Yeah, who is Matt Rife?
Matt Rife is a comedian. Okay, he's 28 years old. He blew up on TikTok. And for some reason, his like viewership has been largely female.
For some reason, well, there's
some people say he's attractive.
This. Yeah. Isn't there like an accusation that he's had like plastic surgery to look how he does too? And
sure,
he's
but
like,
who cares?
He makes jokes like, "I'm so hot, it's hard being funny."
Yeah.
Right? Like stuff like that. Like,
that's the only thing I don't like about it. Like you can be attractive and be a comedian, fine. Well, sure, but it's one of the things I don't like about it. It's like be attractive fine.
Comedians.
And some people feel that way. Like he's not, whatever. I'm not his type. He's not my type. You know what I'm saying? But the ego of it all.
And well, that ego comes into why we're talking about him today.
Yes. So he got a special on Netflix, comedy special on Netflix, which like good for him. Huge career building move.
That usually does
massive.
Well for people.
It was called Natural Selection, and it premiered to like a lot of people who were very excited to see it on November 15th. And he just like, he went in a bad way from like the outset.
He's like, I hate women. Like their abuse is funny.
First, he kicks it off with a domestic violence joke.
Yeah.
And then when he feels that the audience is uncomfortable, then he said, I just wanted to see if y'all were fun. Don't you love when comedians do that? They're like, oh, you don't like my comedy? You must not be fun.
Maybe you're not funny, bro.
Such garbage. Yeah. But anyway, and then the domestic violence joke itself was just not funny. I think there are probably ways that you could joke about that. I don't know if, like, a 28-year-old man is the right person to tell that joke.
Yeah.
And you and I have talked about, like, the punching up strategy.
Yeah. He doesn't do that.
Punch yourself or punch above you. Like, don't punch down. And he punches down a lot. Yeah. And then he started going in on, like, women that believe in, like, crystals and astrology.
they're like dumb or something. Was that
Yeah.
it? Or like the planets aren't dictating your future kind of thing. Like,
Right.
okay.
Like
I'm not a huge fan of astrology, but also the jokes weren't funny.
He said you are in complete control of how your future turns out,
Okay.
which also is untrue, right?
Also
like
is
that's
untrue. Yeah.
not accurate. But I also don't believe in crystals or astrology, so I wasn't particularly offended. But if you've built your career on women being a demographic that supported you, and he argues not his target demographic, but they've been the ones supporting you, and then you immediately go in on those same women and like hate on them for being interested in like astrology, spirituality, crystals, like it's just come on, man.
It's a rebrand.
Anyway, so a lot of people were really mad about that. One of these people,
Some TikToker, Bunny Hedaya.
Bunny Hedaya, who has a 6-year-old son,
Yeah.
is someone that is like pretty into apparently astrology and crystals and stuff. So a bunch of her friends apparently started tagging her in the Matt Rife segment. You know, like, can you believe that? Like, look at this.
Look at this asshole.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
And then her son had like a very cute reaction to Matt Rife.
Well, he like corrected his like astronomical knowledge.
Yeah.
He was like,
Man, just because Jupiter has a ring and you don't, doesn't mean...
It's Saturn has the rings, and it has more also, and you're mean to girls.
Super
I don't know,
cute.
right? Like it was
like adorable kid stuff, you know. The kid
a
is 6.
a 6-year-old on TikTok,
and kind of smart, right? Smart of this kid to come up with this cute TikTok, whatever.
Which
it's just funny, you know.
It's like it's also whatever. You know
It's
what
whatever.
I mean? Like who cares?
It's a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
You know. Like a 6-year-old comes up and makes fun of you, and you don't go in on them.
Matt
because
Rife.
They're 6.
Matt Rife cares. Matt Rife goes all the way. I just can't believe this guy.
Yeah. So
The paper thin ego
for real
is like embarrassing.
he takes maximum offense to this.
Yeah.
Or is just a bad comedian. Like it's one of the two,
I think
right?
it's both. I think it's both.
And he says, Jupiter also has a ring. Oh, and Santa Claus isn't real. Your mom buys you presents with the money she makes on OnlyFans. Good luck.
Oh my god.
Okay, number 1. Bunny doesn't post on OnlyFans. So, incorrect.
It's his way of saying your mom's a whore.
Right.
Which is so
It's so
fucking
cruel.
offensive
It's
to a
messed up.
6-year-old.
It's messed up to the kid. It's messed up to the mom. And it's messed up to people who make their money on OnlyFans.
Who cares?
It's messed up to all those people.
Yeah, it is. Because, well, he means it as a degrading thing, which is
Yeah.
why it's part of the
Right.
reason it's so messed up.
Yeah.
This guy is a tool, man.
This
He's
is
such
not-
a tool.
You know, it's weird because I want to say that this
Oh,
is like
so-
shocking, but the problem is that it absolutely isn't, because when initially the backlash came out about his Netflix special, he obviously heard people being not so happy with the content of the special and thinking that it wasn't funny and like some people even offensive. So his response to that was to direct people to a website for people with special needs for special needs helmets.
Yeah,
That was his response to that. So essentially, if I'm to understand this correctly, and I also didn't find it funny, so maybe I am one of these people and maybe he wouldn't take, but I think what he's saying here is that if I didn't find it funny, I must need a helmet and
to
have
navigate day to day.
special needs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
so like
Sure.
it's like 13-year-old boy.
Yeah,
He never grew up.
Right.
His balls didn't drop. Like I just can't believe this is
And-
the height he's achieved.
It's the
you
ego
know?
too, because it's, if you don't find me funny, you must have an intellectual disability.
When his
what?
jokes are the most base, like uncreative crap I've heard. Like there's no finesse to it, you know?
And
I
it
don't know.
couldn't just be that you just don't like his jokes, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of people I don't think are like super upset, and I'm not super
there are a lot
upset.
of bad comedians. I don't care about
but
either way. Like,
sure,
whatever. Like
it's-
I'm a bad comedian. Like I'm not trying to be a comedian, but I'm not that funny half the time.
Right. Yeah. It's fine that he's a
whatever.
bad comedian and his Netflix special just wasn't very good. And some people are going to think that. And a lot of people think that. And
Yeah.
they're allowed that. But not according to him, because his ego is so fragile that it must mean that you're either stupid, is what he's insinuating, or the other thing that he's said on podcasts before is that it must mean that you're jealous. because he literally went on Tana Mojo's podcast and he said that he's realized that all of his haters, which like we're haters now,
I guess
right,
we're jealous.
are jealous.
Oh my God.
And
That's such a, it's again, like middle school crap.
I know.
Like,
I know, because you're allowed to not like people. I don't like some people, and I'm going to tell you it's not because I'm jealous of them.
yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
like them.
No.
And some people don't like me, and it's not because they're jealous to me. They just don't like me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way the cookie
Like,
crumbles.
I'm not jealous
you know?
of Charles Manson. You know, like, I'm not jealous of, I don't know. The list can go on.
The
Like,
one
the
that-
people I hate the most, I'm not jealous of.
Tana Mojo's response was amazing to him because she was literally like, oh, okay, so do you think then with, like, Osama bin Laden, do
Oh,
you
yeah,
think,
right?
do you think
Yeah.
people were just jealous of him?
So many fucking people hate me for really no reason. People only hate somebody they're jealous of.
Good, well-rounded answer. Do you think people who hate Osama bin Laden are jealous of him?
Yeah. That's perfect. That's a perfect
It was
response. I forgot
perfect.
that she said
It was
that.
brilliant, actually.
Yeah.
Very funny. Much
Yeah.
funnier than his jokes,
So,
actually.
but now there's like new development on this like 6-year-old beef.
Yeah, so now,
Beef with a 6-year-old, because 6-year-old beef makes it sound like it's been going on for a while.
yes,
It's not.
beef with a child.
Beef with a child.
Right.
All right, so apparently this kid destroys him, right?
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
You gonna watch?
Oh, this is old.
This is old.
This is old. Oh, God, he's done such horrible things.
He was fighting with a different 6-year-old?
Yeah, he's...
This is a thing he does?
This one's bad because this one proves, I mean, this man is like, he's clearly ableist, right? Like, I think
He's
you can tell
garbage.
by the special needs helmet comment.
Him hanging out with Jordan
But-
Peterson says enough to me, honestly.
So Mason Ramsey
this
is like
is
a famous,
gross.
he was 12, okay, so a little older, so fine, right? And Mason took a picture with Post Malone.
Yeah.
And-
Who's well known to be a pretty decent guy, right?
Yes.
So a good foil to
Yeah.
Matt Rife's douchery.
And then Matt Rife notices something on Mason's forehead.
There's like a scar or birth
And
defect
yeah,
or
and
something.
decides to respond, fuck's on your forehead, some gum. No, actually. It's literally Mason's birthmark. That's what his face looks like.
Yeah.
Which if Matt Rife had bothered to even do just like a cursory Google search, he would have found because Mason was
No,
pretty
but
famous at this point.
Matt Rife doesn't care.
No.
He thinks it's funny to just insult people on the most base things.
Yeah, absolutely.
He thinks that's
children.
that's elevated humor.
Yes.
I bet he thinks he's cutting edge. I bet he thinks he's like pushing comedy forward. I bet he
Attacking
does.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Yep, that's it. Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
what he thinks. That he doesn't care whether or not it's a birth defect. He's just a douchebag.
Yeah, so Mason said it's birthmark. Not all of us are perfect.
Wow. Is that it?
Yeah.
But that's the second time. This is an old one. But Matt Rife fights with children.
Yeah.
And he gets burned half the time.
I know.
It's sad.
I know.
I don't know why this happened twice. This is like that meme. I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that I have 2.
Yeah.
That's Matt Rife's life.
Yeah.
Who's the next 6-year-old that Matt Rife is going to beef with?
I just can't with
I-
him. I can't.
It's sad, man.
His ego's massive. He doesn't understand that he shouldn't be fighting with children.
I can't wait for 15 years when we see him washed up and like sad and just kind of embarrassing. He already is, but he's kind of at the height of his career right now.
I don't know anymore, honestly.
Well, you know, there are some other comedians I can think of that are like, holy shit, you know, like sad for you, even when they're being scumbags and
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
Like Dane Cook, like gross, but
Yeah.
like he fell hard.
He did.
And I can't wait to be laughing at Matt Rife in 5-10 years when all this comes back to bite him in the ass.
I just,
don't know.
like, I
It's
don't know.
So fucking lame, man.
It makes me, I feel in a way like my radar was good when I was watching him and
Yeah.
I knew that something was off. And yet I also...
You don't always know how to put a word to it. You talk about
Yeah.
this like something feels weird. I don't know how
Yes.
to call it or what it is. And then this comes out and you're like, oh,
That's it.
that's it.
I could tell
Yeah.
that his ego
Yep.
walked in the door before he did, you know?
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about Matt Rife?
Yeah, have you heard about this matter? I mean, at the end of the day, this is no big deal. It's just like kind of random internet drama, but
I just
it's-
can't believe this guy's fighting with 6-year-olds.
I think maybe the moral of this story is, yeah, just like don't fight with children
I
to
know.
like the best of your ability.
I was thinking about this. I was on Duolingo and I'm trying to like beat my bracket, right? And you're like Like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna beat this kid, and I'm like, oh, this I don't know if they're a kid or an adult, but you're
Right.
like, you're probably fighting with a child, like, and I'm not fighting. I'm trying to get the top place so I get my cubes or
Right.
whatever, right? And it's like shit talking them. I'm not like I got kind of sad when one of the people didn't come back. They could have been an adult, but you never know. Like I just don't like sling shit on the internet anymore as an
Yeah.
adult 36-year-old,
Right.
because I don't want to get in a weird pissing match with a literal child.
Yes.
And
if-
that's why I just don't go there.
And if a literal child says something that hurts your feelings, like I think it's incumbent upon you as
Yeah.
the adult to kind of just be like, it's okay. My feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
It's a child.
At the end of the day, even if your feelings are hurt, it's a child.
Don't lash back out at them.
Yeah.
Like that's not appropriate. Don't fight with children.
Physically, with words, whatever it is. Like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. I'm done with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I was never interested in Matt Rife, but I'm definitely not
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I hope that that's the last we talk about him, honestly, but who knows?
We're going to keep hearing about him because he's going to keep doing this
That's true.
garbage.
He's going to descend
And-
into the right wing sphere.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
He's pivoting hard and he's going to go with like the Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan.
I got
crowd.
canceled until you find out there's like
Yeah.
who's that douchebag British guy that was like getting investigated for a bunch of like assaults or something. You know, he used to be like a hippie guru dude, and then he had his own talk show, and he's like, they're
Yes.
coming for me, because he knew that he did so many horrible things that he was
Yeah.
going to get in trouble. That's this guy's future.
Also, it's like, it's so funny to me because I just don't know, like, this isn't to cancel it. I don't even know what that would mean in this kind of context.
Speaking of, if you'd like to see more, subscribe and like the video. We talk about things and watch things.
If you'd like to see us run our channel into the ground.
Yeah, no, I don't know, not yet. We could though. You stick
We
around long
could.
enough, and
We
we could
could.
have that trajectory.
Right.
A lot of them do.
But I will tell you this, if we do it, it's our own fault, okay?
It'll be fun, too.
It won't be because
It'll be
anyone's
fun.
canceling us.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be because we do it.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
See you next
Bye.
time. Bye.
And then I got it knocked, and I started going,
Ridiculous.
oh, that was a tearjerker.
Hey, we're gonna go on a cruise this summer. You should come with us.